Hi everyone. So we are into the last economic law called as the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So this will be discussed in many parts because this is one of the biggest economic law that is applicable for our examination. Before we go into this particular concept, let me first explain what is the examination applicability and what is the quantum of marks that are awarded for this chapter. Number 1. This is applicable commonly for paper number 4 and as well as for paper 6D. I mean the elective. When it comes to paper number 4, you can expect 10 to 12 marks from this chapter. And when it comes to paper number 6D, this will be accounting for 30 marks in examination. Okay. In one examination, it was also given for 50 marks, 50 in 6D. But minimum you can expect 25 to 30 marks from this area. That means this particular chapter will be accounting for totally 40 marks in your full examination. That means if you are perfect with this chapter IBC, you will get the marks which are equivalent to passing of a particular subject independently, that is 40 marks. I think you can understand what is the importance. That's why I have taken this chapter to the last. Instead of clubbing with all the other chapters, I am taking it to the last because the importance of this chapter for exams and for the life. Very, very important chapter. Institute is not a mad fellow to include insolvency bankruptcy code into the syllabus. Okay, let me give you one example. Once examples are given, you can understand in a clear-cut format. Point number 1. Chartered accountants, company secretaries and cost accountants. All these three professionals who have qualified the examination will be eligible to write the course on valuation and will be eligible to write the course on insolvency. Okay. So if you qualify 3 years of your if you complete 3 years from the date on which you are qualified and got the membership from the institute, you are eligible to write an examination called as a valuation, which you will do in insolvency bankruptcy code as well. So we have written that 2018 he qualified that examination. So that will be the valuation course, and which will also be useful for insolvency bankruptcy code. Sir, why sir Indian Empire map is there? Indian Empire map, why this is there? So you are talking about insolvency bankruptcy code. Why you are talking about Indian Empire here? Okay, don't get distracted. The main point is history of insolvency starts from 1612. Okay, we have to go back 400 years back totally. Okay, so okay, anyway, let's come to the story first. Insolvency bankruptcy code 2016 IBC for the purpose of your practice. Okay, let me explain one thing. Institute, here I am. Institute is not a mad fellow to include IBC into your elective. Why it introduced? Let me explain one point. When it comes to, since occasion came, let me also explain the other chapters with regard to the applicability, then you can understand by making comparison and contrasting. Number 1. So there is a chapter called as a RERA. Which one? RERA. Real Estate Regulation Act. Real Estate Regulation Act contains the total practice points on real estate projects. What a chartered accountant has to do, what the promoter has to do, and whether promoter has done that or not. What is the project value, project completion period, all these things with regard to a real estate project. A daily full meals for a chartered accountant. We generally check many RERA projects in our practice. That way many of our clients are real estate venturing persons. Therefore we need to check many things inside that. After the applicability of RERA, we got all around 15 to 16 new assignments. Revenue, keep it off. It will be sometimes in lakhs, it will be sometimes in thousands. Okay, it may be sometimes when we are signing on any completion certificate or estimate certificates. So lakhs will come, sometimes thousands will come. Monetarily, let us keep it aside. Main thing I want to tell is this real estate is one of the important sector in India, right? So that sector, if we don't know what is the ABCD in that, what is the use of completing the CA course? After completing CA, you learn about real estate. From whom you will learn? Practice in chartered accountants existing. They will not make you to learn. I am giving you a word. Therefore, institute came to know this. Persons who are qualifying the CA are not having a minimum knowledge of real estate. which is the main projects in India. Okay, listen carefully. Many items will be there like gold, real estate, etc. Gold, all these things are taken over by an act called as the Binami Transactions Act. Which act? Binami Transactions. And real estates are taken by Real Estate Regulation Act. Okay, 2016. That act will be taking care. That means what is the idea of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in including these chapters into the elective? Array chartered accountant, after you qualify, every chartered accountant office in practice, every chartered accountant, I am not telling 1 and 2, every chartered accountant, if there are totally 35,000 chartered accountant firms in India, all 35,000 chartered accountant firms will have real estate audits. That means a person who is in a real estate project. Everyone I am talking about, 100 means 100 out of every 100 will have. Okay. Rarely I can find an audit firm where it is not there. So therefore I am making 100 out of 100. Every audit firm will have one real estate project. At least one real estate contractor will be coming for the audit. That means why they will come to you? In order to sign on a completion certificate, in order to sign on a commencement certificate, in order to sign on the estimate certificate, in order to sign on project reports. Without knowing the act, what signing you will make? That's the institute want to convey. Know about Real Estate Regulation Act properly. After that, once you qualify, you will automatically set up your practice at that time. This will help you. With this intention, that was put as an elective paper. We will see that as 15 marks, 20 marks after again. Learn with an intention that you will get a project after your completion of your CA course. Okay, learn with a motive that this will be useful for my life. Definitely it will be useful. For marks, if you read, you will never get a client, you will never successful in a practice. In order to be successful in a practice, accept challenges, learn new things, and be enthusiastic to learn new things first. That means something is new, please be into that, take the responsibility to your shoulders and learn it. Definitely one or the other day it will help you. Okay, so listen carefully to the concept, and in the same way, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has a planned elective paper number 60 in such a way that it's a blend of many important practice viewpoints. Okay, real estate, Binami transactions, will be talking about gold and other mobile properties and immovable property transactions, and Real Estate Regulation Act will be talking about real estate projects. IBC, a complete area of practice. FEMA, you know, 13 to 15 classes were taken, 13 classes will be taken for FEMA. So understand the importance. Those are all the practice. Sir, I am telling you very clearly, ours paper number 6D is the only area in paper total electives where they are going to give many areas of practice. Examples also I will give you. Capital markets and financial services. Okay, actually I will also be taking that paper. Okay, but I prefer 6D to that. Why? Reason. Capital markets and financial services. One wrong notion is there in the students community. First thing, if you do elective paper with one particular paper in electives, when you complete CA, you will get job in that area. That's the notion. A fool will think like that. Okay, institute intention is not to get you jobs. Institute intention is to make you aware of all the areas in a detailed way, not just a reading and going way. Okay, with that intention, elective was introduced. Use your common sense, at least 1 ounce of your brain. Answer my question. 60 is a open book or a normal paper? Open book system. Normal papers are totally 7 papers are there. Open book system is 1 paper is there, that's a elective paper. Now answer, how foolishly students will think sometimes, I don't really understand. Okay, we can't make anything against them, but still try to understand, use your brain properly first before making any kind of apprehension. You are a chartered accountant and getting qualified. So think one important point in a wise way. Answer, elective paper what you will choose, you will get job in that area after qualifying CNA. A fool will talk like that. Try to understand clearly, it's an open book or a closed book? Open book. Closed book, how many topics are there? 7 subjects are there. Am I clear? FR is there, na? FR. Okay, SFM, audit, law, all are open book. No, DT, IDT and this particular DT, AMA, sorry, SEMPE, DT, IDT. These are all closed book. Okay. Closed book is difficult, open book is difficult. Closed book is difficult. Okay. You are qualified, you are writing 7 subjects on closed way and 1 on a open book system. You are not getting jobs in all the 7 areas. You will get job in open book system area. Na? Here is the logic here. The institute intention never is to bring you jobs. Job is completely different. If you qualify, you will definitely get. Our course is in such a way that it's one of the most fantastic courses in the world, which will give you the job the day you qualify. Definitely, I am giving you the word. Sir, I am not getting any jobs. Sir, come to me, I will give. Okay. So try to understand our course is like that. Our syllabus curriculum, the area, the environment in which our system is developed. I am talking about chartered accountancy. It's completely professional. No one can do that work. Okay. Even though they try, that will become a buffoon at the end of the day. So mainly what you have to understand, chartered accountant is a unique person who has to do his job. Okay. So there is no alternative for a chartered accountant in India. Certain attached functions are there where only chartered accountant has to do. No other persons can do that. Now what you need to understand out of this, institute intention is, if the student is aware of IBC, which IBC? IBC in paper number 6D will be covering 75 sections. In our paper 4, 55 sections are covered. That means in excess how many you have to learn? 20 sections you have to learn. Am I clear? 20 excess sections, dead easy 20 sections. Not that easy. Very, very easy. Just reading and going concepts. Okay. 55 sections are applicable for paper number 4. Another 25 sections, excess sections are applicable for paper number 60. 80 sections are made applicable for exam. Okay. Some sections in Act itself are not yet enforced. What is the intention of the institute? Once you qualify CA, you will enroll for insolvency examination or not? Yes. You will write examination or not? Yes. Do you know how many professionals are there in India today? Hardly there are 600 insolvency professionals in India today. How many? 600 insolvency professionals are there in India today. Sir, why sir so much less? Who is writing the exam here? Who is writing the exam? Who is dare enough to write the exam? So try to understand clearly. There are no insolvency professionals like thousands of insolvency professionals. Hardly there are 600 insolvency professionals in 134 crore population. That means how much challenging the job will be. Okay. So if you complete 3 years of your CA, you can write valuation course on this. Okay. In 2018, we qualified that. With this, why I am telling all these things is try to understand here. Once you qualify CA, you have to write the examination on insolvency. You have to means if you want to be as a resolution professional. If that be the case, a chartered accountant who qualified his CA in the way back in 1990s or 1980s or even in the early 2000s, for him it will be very, very difficult to write insolvency exam. Do you know what is the reason? They have to have a knowledge on, Companies Act. Okay. And the next one, Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, FEMA, and other 8 laws are there. All those laws are applicable for our examination. What is the intention of the institute? Get the expertise on these areas at the student level itself. Once you qualify CA, write the examination on insolvency. There, everything will be same as the syllabus you learnt in CA final. You will have immense knowledge. Write the examination, qualify that. But immediately after qualification, you cannot get assignments because you need to complete 10 years of your practice. Sir, in the meanwhile, waste na sir. Nothing is wasted. I am not completing my 10 years of my practice. I complete only 5 years. But still, we are getting the areas or not. We are getting the practice on IBC as well. How? Support activities. Which activity? Support. Signing on insolvency professional insolvency can be done by insolvency professional. But who qualified examination on insolvency, who qualified registered valuation course can give support functions to the insolvency professionals as per the code itself. Okay. That means what do you mean by this? You are an article assistant with a principal. Let's take example. Okay. Can you file tax returns? Yes. Can you file income tax, MCA returns? Yes. You are a chartered accountant in practice. No. You are giving a support function to your principal or not? Sorry. So you are giving a support function to your principal or not? Yes. That means support function to your principal means you are a qualified chartered accountant. No, though you are not a qualified chartered accountant, you are giving support function or not. For that we are getting a stipend. It may be low or high is an entirely different point. But as an insolvency support function person, you will be minting money in thousands and lakhs, because the remuneration that will be given to insolvency professional is very much bigger. It will be running into 10, 20, 30 lakhs like that. Okay, insolvency professional is not a joke. You are not understanding the idea behind. We are seeing with your own eyes. So when the insolvency professionals are drawing the amounts, we are feeling jealous. That means if we had got the chance, we would have minted lakhs. But 10 years of my practice is not completed still. What you have to understand, at least by giving support functions, we are earning very much. Amounts not required to be said, but still we are earning very good amounts. Through what? Through giving support functions to the insolvency professionals. Okay, one person is their resolution professional in Chennai. He will be giving me the works. So I will be doing the support functions to them. Support functions, for that we will be getting a good remuneration. I'm talking about, I'm not just telling normal, I'm getting a very much better than satisfied amounts for the work done. It will be for around 6 months. That means continuously we will be reading IBC law or not. That's why from the very beginning I used to tell, Insolvency Act, once it comes, definitely your idea of practice will change. With that institute has introduced the concept of paper number 6D. And most of the students are also electing for that because of many reasons. Why 6D was elected by many? The only intention is 3 chapters in paper 4 and 6D are completely same. Completely same. Excess, totally there will be 30 sections in excess. PMLA 5-6 sections. FEMA ditto copy paste except 2 points. Okay, and even in the IBC only 20 sections are added. Dead easy 20 sections, 3-line, 4-line answers. RERA is a very good area. I will show you the practically how real estate projects will be developed, the floor plans, etc. Binami is similar to PMLA. The only new act that you will be learning in paper 6 is Competition Act, except that everything is ditto copy paste. Because of this, syllabus burden will get reduced. Simply 60% of paper 6D is same as paper number 4. That's the statement that we can make. With that intention, institute has included paper number 6D la IBC into our syllabus. Now, sir, if I qualify IBC, I will be called as what? Insolvency professional. What I can do? You can take up insolvency resolution process. Insolvency resolution process. Sir, what do you mean by this? That's the chapter we are going to learn about. So everyone, please concentrate. We are going to learn a very important chapter called as the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Okay, next issue. Sir, why Indian Empire and old Indian map was there? This is a map in 1893. 1893. This is a map that was taken from 1893 general political map. Sir, why 1893? This map was taken at the time of Swami Vivekananda's travel to Chicago. At that time this was taken. 1893 September 11th is World Parliament of Religions has been conducted. At that time this map was taken by him to Chicago. So why this map? This will clearly depict the British rule in India. Sir, why we are going to British rule suddenly? We are coming to social class and history classes, sir. You need to understand the historic background behind Insolvency Bankruptcy Code. How this concept has come to India. Let's start with our concept on the Insolvency Bankruptcy Code. And everyone, welcome to the new world of corporate law, which will be talking about the insolvencies in India. Okay. So one very important area which will be accounting for 40 marks in your total syllabus. 10 marks in paper number 4. One most important area we are going to start with the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. So listen carefully once. Point number 1. Why we are going to learn about the historic background before we start with this chapter? The main reason behind that is, first company in India started in the year 1612. The first company in India has started in the year 1612. 31st December 1600. 31st December 1600. A company was formed in United Kingdom with the name East India Company, with the name called as East India Company. What is the date? 31st December 1600, 1600, 31st December. They started a company with the name East India Company. Sir, why they started the company? In order to close India. Okay, in order to invade, in order to make a colonial rule in India. British colonies are there, na? The colonies are also called as a colonial rules. Okay, to make a colonial rule, they started a concept called as a company. Why company? India does not have a culture of company in the early 1600s and 1700s. India has a concept of business. Okay, internally they used to do. External trade completely zero in India. Okay, so what you need to understand, in India, international trade is nothing. That means whenever trade means trade is within India only, and kings used to trade. Okay, zamindars and kings used to trade. Okay, main point is British concentrated on India from early 1300s, 1380, 1390. French, Portuguese rule started in India. Invasions here and there happened, and Vasco da Gama, many people are also coming to India. They found a sea route to India. Okay, they discovered sea route to India. And after that, I also said in SEBI Act very clearly, British rule hasn't started from 1400 itself. Their first rule started in the early 1600s. Okay, 1600, but that was very slow poison at that time. 1770 time, British rule became immensely dense in India. How? Let's see this map. Insolvency bankruptcy code, once you understand the historic setting properly, really you will appreciate how company culture started in India, why insolvency is required, why I am telling all this history, you will understand. First video I always dedicate to the history. Okay, always first video in every chapter I dedicate to the history, why that came, why this act has come, the background. So once that comes into mind properly, chapter will become just a cakewalk. You will understand how these sections were drafted. Okay, see here, company culture in India started in early 1600s. Before that, there is no concept of company culture in India. 1612, a first company that has come to India with the name East India Company. At that time, India is under Indian king's rule? No. Already India is under a worst rule called as a Mughals. Okay, who came all the way from Gulf. What we call Gulf today. These fellows used to come to India and rule India at that time. To some extent, we are also worst fellows who will welcome every person to rule us. A person from Italy will also come to India and rule. Okay, but Indians will not go to any country and rule. Okay, but a person from Italy will also come to India, and they will also started ruling in India. They will control our prime ministers as well. That's the beauty in India always. So rather than abusing others, first we need to have a self-abuse first. We will entertain every person in the world where others will not do that. That became a sensitive situation in India always. We used to abuse our own country. That's a greatness always. Okay, we have to kick them on the face directly once the person abuse India, because no person in the world will abuse his own country except Indians. Okay, so this, I'm not telling everyone, I'm telling some. Everywhere I use the word some only. Everyone will not do everything. So main thing we need to understand is India is under a rule. Mughals came to India. Okay, Mughals came to India. With what name they came? They said that we will be selling you some natural resources and gems, not Cadbury's gems. I'm talking about gold, diamonds, etc. For a trade on that they came. They said we want to purchase gold, silver, diamonds and other precious materials from India. They come to India. Okay, after coming to India, they were shocked to see, they were literally shocked to see the natural resources in India in the early 1400s and 1500s. Okay, 1400s and 1500s. They were shocked to see that. Hey, what a resource having country it is. How many resources are there? What is this gold resource? At that point of time, India is the richest country in the planet. Why? Because of immense natural resources. Whatever, whenever you dig, you will get diamonds, etc. in some areas. I'm not telling wherever in Vijayawada if you come and with a leg if you dig it, you will not get the diamonds. I'm talking about the place where the natural resources are available. They are available not scarcely, they are available abundantly in India. Abundantly in such a way that we are having excess of natural resources. We don't know what to do with them. That much natural resources are available in India. Natural resources, people, knowledge at that time. Vedic civilization, knowledge at that time, it's completely different. At that time, first Mughal rule started in India. Mughals came to India with the name, I want to make a trade on gems and other things. They came to India. Slowly they started their culture in India. This is the area. Okay, this all area is called as Mughal dynasty. Okay, Mughal dynasty is not here actually, it is much more onto the western side. From there they came into India. All these areas, this Pakistan, Afghanistan, Baluchistan, all these areas used to be there. They slowly started coming to India. After they came to India, the first threatened area is Punjab. Half area is in Pakistan, half area is in India. This is one of the sensitive areas in India, Punjab. Okay, so what happened at that time? They slowly started coming to India to do some business. But business is not in the nature of company. They don't have a culture of company. We don't have a culture of company at that time. Just a normal individual proprietorship business, you can call it. Okay, they started that in India. Okay, now what happened? For example, Mr. X from UAE, that area, Qatar, etc., Lebanon, Qatar, all these areas are there. From there, a person came to India to trade. Once he come to India to trade, what will happen at the maximum? That person will come, we will sell him, he will purchase and he will go back. On the way, we don't have any restrictions in India at that point of time. He used to go to other places in India. Okay, other places in India. And he used to sell the same to Indians. He used to purchase others. Like that, this CAA Act, what Narendra Modi has brought in the last quarter or last 5-6 months back, that law is not there in India. Now, no one used to ask, who are you in India? They said that we are from so and so country, we lost our money, we lost everything, so we want shelter in your country. Like that they came to India. That means they came into India for shelter, and after that they became rulers in India. Sorry, we made them rulers in India. If we don't make them, if you use it to slap them on the day number 1 itself, why they will come? They have seen the sensitiveness in India and they said, let us create panic situations in India and let us rule. Because of the money power, money means I'm talking about resources they have in their hand, they use it to rule India. Like that, they first started from the northern part of India, they came all the way like this and they first started their rule in India. Okay, this particular, if you can observe, yellow color mark is there now, yellow color. This yellow color mark represents wherever the Mughal rule is there, wherever the Mughal rule is there. That means in Nizams they will call this rule, this Mughal rule is there, that will be denoted with the color yellow. Rajputana is the first place where there is having a rule of Mughals. Okay, like that it is there some parts of Gujarat. This place itself is a headquarters for all the Mughal dynasty and Nizams in India, and that place is Hyderabad. Okay, Hyderabad is a best place for them. It's a capital for Nizam's rule. Hyderabad is the capital for the Nizam's rule. That's why the culture of Nizams is heavily found in Hyderabad. Why? Because Hyderabad is a hub for them. In early 1500s itself I'm talking about. They started rule and they started rule in India. What they have done, to be very, very clear is, what they have done, what wrong they have done. Mughals, when they started rule in India, war started. All the wars, what you read in social studies, etc., Battle of Panipat, etc., whatever you speak. So all these battles started in India or not. Wherever you go, Indians use it to lose and they use it to win. Immediately they used to capture the parts of India. Okay, very good. They started invading India, etc. What the wrong they have done? Rule made by Mughals is to some extent okay. But the main thing they destroyed is the culture in India. To be very, very clear on the facts, they use it to destroy temples. That's all. In one word, I can tell like this. Okay. Even today, history is available now. They used to destroy the temples first. because the very culture of India is dependent on that or not, they used to destroy that first. Destruction of temple, they thought that this is the first place where we need to destruct. They started destructing the temples and culture in India. Rule is okay type. Some people done good, some people have done bad. In people, negative and positive shades both will be there. Leave off the ruling, etc. But the negative, what they have done is maximum is they destroyed the culture in India. 1500s completed, 1600s also came. Immediately, sea route to India became very easy, as I said already in SEBI Act. Okay, 14,000 nautical miles has become only 4,000, 5,000 nautical miles. It became very easy for them to come to India. They had to come all the way from India, but not from this side, but they used to come from this side. Bombay is their place, is their hub. They came all the way. If you can see the old name, it's called as Pune. Now we call it as a Pune. So this is Bombay and this is Pune. All these places are there, na? So Ratnagiri, all these areas, Kolhapur, Ratnagiri, now they are in Maharashtra. So at that time, this is the situation in India. They used to come all the way from here. Okay. Sir, pink color, what is this pink color? Sir, pink color denotes British rule. Pink color denotes British rule. Okay. At that time, Pakistan, all these things are also there in India or not. British used to go everywhere. So yellow color represents the Mughal dynasty and pink color represents the British rule. Okay, which rule? British rule. Okay. See here, 1600s, everything used to be yellow. Slowly British captured everything. They kicked the Mughals outside India first. Okay, they targeted on kicking them outside India. Mughals, if they are 50% rogues, British are 100% rogues. What they have done, their only intention is to capture a country, take the natural resources, get back your home country. That's the basic idea of British. But what Mughals have done wrong, British didn't repeat it. They learnt lessons from Mughals. What lessons they learnt? We should not come in single. We should come in a group. We should come in a group. To target a country, we should not come single. Okay, example. Muhammad Ghori will come. Ghazni will come. Tughlaq will come. One person will come first. We should not come like that. And one person will come with the name what? They will come to rule you. They will come to rule you. You have to tell directly. We use it to capture your country. Let's start a war. Let's start a battle. Let's fight together. Like that Mughals intention. Mughals are much better than British. British people are covered eyes. So simply they are 100% covered eyes. That means they don't want to fight directly. But Mughals, they said directly, we want to invade your country. We want to fight with you. Let's fight together in a battle. That's why battles are there before British. Once British rule started, battles are not there. All battles in India end with British rule itself. Okay, British rule starts, all the battles end. All battles are, sir, Shivaji, okay, Chhatrapati Shivaji, or whatever you call, whatever the heroic patriots you call today. All these people are having battles with whom? Mughals. Because Mughals directly used to tell, that's a good part in Mughals at least. They used to tell, let's fight. But we don't have ammunition at that time, na. So some we use it to win, some we use it to lose, etc. At this point of time, King's rule used to be there in India. At the time, British targeted on, we should not come with a word, we want to declare war against you, like Mughals. Mughals have done some wrongs in India. First wrong number one, coming single. That means a person will first come as a representative. Ghori will come, Ghazni will come, okay, Babur will come, or Tughlaq will come. One person will come, after that people used to come. We should not do like that. Second one, they used to tell directly that we want to make a war with you. Don't tell that. Don't tell we want to declare a war against you. Let's shake hand and let's backstab them. That's the intention of British. Worst fellows to the core. So this is the second situation. And third one, the third situation, that what they want to do is, wrong that Mughals have done is, they started from North India and slowly they started their impressions in the other parts of India. That's wrong. Because I started, for example, let's take one common example, simple example, where BJP is, North India, technically in Lucknow. Okay. Is there anywhere BJP win in South India? One or two places from historically where they have the establishment, there they will win. Remaining places, will they win? Because dilution of power. What is that? dilution of power will be there. Obviously that within India, a big political party itself could not have its extended powers throughout India, even though it won with a thumping majority. BJP is not winning even a single seat in Andhra, not winning a single seat in Telangana, but it became one of the national biggest political party today. How? Their impressions are there only in north side of India and very low in South India. Am I clear or not? Then that's the British idea. Mughals, they started from north, slowly they come to south. Okay, when they used to come to south, British used to kill them in the north. When they used to concentrate on north, they used to capture south. That means the wrong that they have done is, see here, on eastern part of India, totally on the eastern part of India, you are not finding not even a single place where Mughal rule is there. Mughal rule is not there anywhere. It is highly available in north and very little available in south. Okay, Mysore is there na. Mysore is having impressions of Mughal rule. Okay, that means what you need to understand from this history, Mughals and British, both of them ruled India in early 1600s. British didn't rule, Mughals ruled. British didn't rule. British came in the name of a company. And now let's come to the point. Mughals, when they come to India, they didn't come for business. They said that we want to declare a war against you and we want to invade. They started fighting. Some may win, some may lose. This is the idea. British thought that this is wrong. Let us not tell that we will invade you. Let's tell we will do some business deals in India. Okay. We should not come single. Okay, we should come in a group. If you want to come in a group, in what name you need to come? If you want to come in a group, come as a company. That's why the concept of companies came into India. Or else, what is the headache for British to make Indians to learn about company law? If I come in the name of a business, they will ask me, who are you? I will tell my name is Muhammad Ghori. I will get my name is Muhammad bin Tughlaq. I will tell my name. Okay, who are you? I am so and so, Tughlaq, or Ghazni, or Ghori, or Babar. Whatever the name I want, I will tell. They will tell, what do you want? I want your country and your resources. We want to declare a war against you. So immediately they used to have the war, etc. Bahmani Sultanate, all these things you need to learn. So all these things used to happen. But British didn't come like that. We want to bring our Britishers into India, but not in the name of a war. We will not tell we want to declare a war. We will tell that we want to have friendship with you. They came in that way to India. That's why British are covered eyes, piriki. So they are very, very covered eyes. But it seems to be very much brave. They didn't show bravery at any point of time in India. At least Mughals have shown some bravery. But Britishers never have shown that. So what Britishers have done, they captured India with the name of business. They came to India. If I come in sole proprietor, I can only come. Again, some person has to have his establishment. Therefore, they came to India with the name of a company. This particular sketch has drawn in early 1600s. After 12 years, they executed in India. When Britishers come to India, already Mughal rule is there. Mughals were shown certain things from British and they were also went outside India. Slowly by the end of 1893, that means 1800s, I can explain in this way. 1800s, 1830, 1840, at that point of time, India is in the close threat hands of British and as well as in the Mughals. Slowly Mughals have went out. British used to rule India. Only little parts of Rajasthan and Hyderabad province and Mysore province are in the hands of British, are the hands of Mughals. Remaining everywhere, British used to rule in India. That's why British, for the very first time, when they came to India in 1612, they started their business in a place called as Calcutta. The first place where the business is done by the British is the Calcutta. So with the name called as Hooghly. Okay, with that name they started their company in India, Calcutta, with the name called as East India Company, East India Company Limited. With the name of a company they came. How many subscribers to the memorandum are there? There are 35 subscribers to the memorandum in that company. That means 35 Britishers used to come. There are about 100 to 150 shareholders are there in that company. 150 other shareholders came to India. They used to tell, we want to do business. Immediately Indians were shell shocked to see Hey, what is this? One person is not coming. Group of persons are coming to do business. Who are all you? They said that, sir, this is a company, sir. We want to do friendship with you, sir. Please, sir, shake hands, sir. I am so and so, sir. I am Philip, sir. I am Louis, sir. I am so and so, sir. So I am Dustbin, sir. I am so and so, sir. Like that, they used to tell and they used to start business. They first captured zamindars in India. Which one? Zamindars in India. They started having friendship with all the zamindars. They used to tell, sir, this is the business we do in British. This is called as a company. This is governed by a law called as a company law. So all these things they used to tell. So company law means a company incorporated under the Companies Act. Like that, ask remaining things to Koushik Mukesh. He will explain Companies Act. So company is one of the greatest culture available in the world. So if you do business through a company, you can raise a lot of funds. Now you are only one party na. If you have a company, India is heavy in population. You collect some money from each and every party. Part and parcel of that money will become a big amount. You can invest that in a company in England. Once you invest in a company in England, you will get returns. That returns will be parcel back to India. You can become much more richer party. These zamindars are also stupid fellows in India at that time. They used to fell for that. Immediately they said, oh, what a company means. Arre, yanna company. So please, what I have to do? Immediately they said, please give diamonds, please give gold, please give, I will give certain things to you. So please, sir, please cooperate with the British. Immediately they said, they slowly captured India. Okay, they slowly captured India. That means the culture of companies started in India way back in 1600, but because of Mughal dynasty, which is dominating British at that time, technically the main British started in early 1770s. 1770, the real British rule started in India. Slowly Mughal dynasty became diluted like anything. Okay, diluted like anything. Therefore, first time British don't want to do mistakes that are done by Mughals. What they have done in early 1800s, they started their cruelty in India. That's why Narasimha Reddy, Majjari Narasimha Reddy, all these things came in the year 1800s and 1770 like that. Why at that time, at that point of time, why it came like that? Just because of one important reason. British rule started at that time only. 1612 they came to India. For 150 years they waited in India to rule. See their patience level to rule a country. 1600 to 1775 they didn't do any massacre in India. They have shown their real cruelty once Mughals completely washed out of India, except in few places. Okay, they started their invasions in India na. British started their company rule. It is not British rule, they used to call company rule. Company will rule you. Okay, which company? East India Company. That company has many products that manufacture cotton, salt, etc. That's why they use it to import salt from UK and do it to sell in India. At that time only Gandhiji has done Uppu Satyagraham. Okay, I don't know what is that in other languages. Uppu Satyagraham. What do you mean by Uppu Satyagraham? Arey, India is rich in oceans and salt. Why you are selling salt in India? If you want, you take from India. So if you sell your iodized salt in India, we won't buy. So that's a Uppu Satyagraham. Okay, that was done by Mahatma Gandhi. One of the greatest things that happened in history. So they use it to bring certain things to India and sell to Indians itself, which India is rich. India is rich at that. Salt, etc. They are selling to India. So they used to start company. They used to sell products to Indians itself, where India is having rich resources. They used to start their invasions in India. 1870, 1880 time British cruelty peaks. Okay, cruelty peaks in India. So that means it reached the heights totally. At that point of time only many invasions used to started in India. Total wealth of India was taken back to their home country, England, etc. So this is a situation in India. They started company rule in India. Our zamindars in India also said that we will also start companies in India. At that time in early 1860s, they started the first Companies Act in India, the Indian Companies Act. Okay, 1863, 1865 time one Companies Act has started. Do you know Punjab National Bank? Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, okay, and Allahabad Bank, Punjab National Bank, Tata Iron and Steel, all these started in early 1900. 1904 Tata Iron and Steel. 1890, 1895 time Punjab National Bank, Allahabad Bank, these banks were found. These were British incorporated banks. At that time, Companies Act is there, but not this 1956 Companies Act. 1910 Companies Act is there. 1860 Companies Act is also there. That 1865, 1870 Companies Act incorporated all these banks and Tata Iron and Steel Company. At that time, they started companies in India. Companies culture slowly started in India. Why I am telling this history? British didn't do the mistake that was committed by Mughals. British has started their invasions in India from North India or from South India or from East India or from western part of India. They started their invasions from all the areas. From north, they are having Delhi. From west, they are having Bombay. From the towards east, they are having Calcutta. From the south, they are having Madras. Sir, what are these? Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. These four are called as presidency towns. These four are called as what? These four are called as presidency towns. That means the most important four places they spotted in India are Madras, Bombay, Calcutta and Delhi. These are four places where they found as places to start their principal invasion places. They named them as a presidency towns. Today we will call state, Andhra state, Andhra Pradesh state, Telangana. At the time states are not there. They used to call as a province. They used to call as a province. British provinces they used to call. Mysore province, Nizam province, Madras province or Madras province or Bombay province, Trivandrum province. Like that they used to call it province. Province la head will be there na. All are provinces. In that provinces, four very important are there. Those are called as a presidency towns. They are called as what? Presidency towns. That means Governor General's headquarters used to be there in all the presidency towns in India. In all the presidency towns in India. Okay. So these four places are called as presidency towns. Four very important places in India are called as presidency towns. Okay, presidency towns concept was started not for British company. That's the funniest part. When they started East India Company in India, that's a company. They said that the act presidency towns shall apply to everyone in India, every individual in India, except British provinces, except British company called as East India Company or any of its shareholders. Except them, for everyone this act will apply. Okay, sir, which act, sir? That's why I said this history. The first insolvency law in India is called as the first insolvency law in India is called as Presidency Towns Insolvency Act 1909. This is the first insolvency act that started in India. For this only I made 35 minutes of historic setting background. Why presidency towns? British has started their invasions in India in the name of a company, not in one place, either from north or south or east, west, etc. They started their invasions from all the presidency towns. They said that business generally will be done in four core places in India. One in Madras, Bombay, Calcutta and Hastina, Delhi. Four places are there where the British used to do their business. Only from those four places they used to trade. Therefore, this law called as Presidency Towns Insolvency Act will consider insolvency situations happening during the course of a business of an individual residing in any of these 4 presidency towns. Immediately they came to know that 1909 presidency towns is applicable for 2 people, individual, and that individual must have a business establishment in any of the presidency towns. Then only that act shall apply, and that act is not applicable for companies. Act is applicable for individuals becoming insolvent. Okay, very good. Later, many places in India, culture of business started. Okay, commercial business started in India. 1910, 2020, 15, 19, 15, 19, 16, like that. Other persons also use it to trade business. In Andhra Pradesh, places of business are Bezawada, called as Vijayawada today, Kakinada, and Machilipatnam. At that time, do you know, at that point of time, if you see the map, you will see the name as Machilipatnam. So it's not Machilipatnam, here it will be. May not be clearly visible, it's a Machilipatnam. Okay, so like that it used to be at that point of time. So all these areas used to be the business places for them. So many people also started doing businesses in India, but not in the name of presidency towns. All the other places of business, other places in India also started their own business establishments. In Kakinada, in Machilipatnam, in Vijayawada, at that point of time all the names are different. So at that places also they used to have some business, and those people used to become insolvent in the course of doing the business. Then which law is there to govern them? You are telling Presidency Towns Insolvency Act is applicable for individuals becoming insolvent in the presidency towns. But I am not in a presidency town here. I am not in Madras. I am in Machilipatnam. I became insolvent. Then what you can do with me? Therefore, they said that this is wrong. Presidency Towns Insolvency Act will be kept as it is. We will bring another act called as Provincial Insolvency Act 1920. Which act? Provincial Insolvency Act 1920. Sir, what is this Provincial Insolvency Act 1920? British provinces, states, we call that's called as a provinces. This act called as Provincial Insolvency Act is applicable to all kinds of individuals residing in any British province. Any British province. Sir, I am living in India. I am living in India within a place called as a Madras. For me, provincial insolvency, presidency town, so both are presidency town. Other than presidency town, that act used to get applied. Okay, I am in Machilipatnam, provincial act. I am in Pune, provincial act. I am in Haryana, provincial act. I am in Madras, presidency towns insolvency act. Everything is same in both the acts, only places are changing, but they have written a separate law for that. Presidency Towns Insolvency Act and Provincial Insolvency Act 1920 act has come. Very good. They started like that. Later, after India has become independent, 1947 after, later it became republic. What is the difference between Indian independence and republic? Independence means we are having our own independent country, no one rules us. Republic means republic. That means we are refreshing total India. We got the rights to prepare our own laws. That Republic India has formed with the constitution law as well. So the constitution was written and every act has been drafted as it is. But one thing we need to understand. Act which is formed after Republic India. Act which is formed after Republic India. All those laws will contain, in the first preamble above, they will use the word Sovereign, Socialist, Democratic Republic India. But some acts also came after independence but before Republic India. That act is Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Our act is there even before India became a republic. This is the only act in professional courses I am talking about, which was incorporated even prior to India becoming a republic. That's the importance of a chartered accountant in the world, especially in India. Okay, so main thing that we need to understand is Presidency Towns Insolvency Act, Provincial Insolvency Act 1920 came. However, there are some deficiencies. The deficiency is they cover only individuals. Slowly partnership culture started in India. Which one? Partnership culture. What is a partnership? So what do you mean by a general partnership? Partnership is what you learned in your IPCC level. That partnership. Partnership. Individuals are there in the world since long past. 1909 is applicable. 1920 Provincial Insolvency Act is applicable. But partnerships came suddenly. New concept came into India. In which year? 1932 Indian Partnership Act has come. But insolvency of individuals in presidency towns is governed by 1909 Act. 1920 governs others. But partnership became insolvent. In that case, what to do? Question mark came. 1956, a new shuffled concept of Companies Act has come. If this is becoming insolvent, what to do? Question mark again. So thereafter, many acts has come into India. How many? Many acts, not just one act. Many acts has came into India after that time. Okay. So presidency town, let me first tell you the same whatever I said till now. Presidency towns, individuals. Provincial insolvency, other than these places, individuals. Partnership Act came, how to deal? No act is there. Companies Act came, how to deal? No act is there. So in these situations, what they have done? From 1920 till 1956, Companies Act insolvencies are not governed by any law. There used to be a huge crisis in India. No insolvency is the law is existed to take the insolvencies of companies. They used to take insolvencies of individuals at that time. Okay, individuals at that time. But that became very difficult. Therefore, Companies Act 1956 has come. After that, what they said? Companies Act 1956 came into existence, which said about provisions with regard to winding up of a company. 1932 Partnership Act has provided for dissolution of a partnership. Dissolution of what? Partnership. 1956 Companies Act spoke about winding up provisions. 1932 Indian Partnership Act is talking about the dissolution proceedings. Okay. 1909 individuals, 20 individuals, 32 partnership firm, 56 winding up. Later, there is a huge problem in India. Companies Act is applicable for companies under Companies Act, but there are many other entities and many other companies which are not companies under Companies Act, like banks. State Bank of India Limited is a bank, but this is a company, but this is not a company under Companies Act. It is a company under State Bank of India Act itself. Okay, then how to tackle with this? State Bank of India is not a company under Companies Act. Then how to tackle these issues? At that time, they said we have to start a new act in India. You have to start a new act in India. Okay, at that time, they already have an act to consider the banks called as Banking Regulation Act. 1949 it came into existence. Okay, it considers insolvency situations and winding up of a bank. However, there are some loopholes in this act and it is not working so good. In the year 1985, for banking sector, a separate law has been drafted with the name RDDBFI. This was enacted in 1993. 1985, all kinds of companies insolvencies which are industrial companies are governed by an act called as SICA, Sikh Industrial Companies Act 1985. RDDBFI, recovery of debts due to banks and financial institutions, is governed by RDDBFI Act 1993. So how about the journey of this IBC with regard to various insolvency laws? Individuals, partnership firms, companies. Okay, individuals, partnership firms, companies, and especially banks. How the journey has started, that will be discussed in the next lecture. Okay, this 1 hour lecture I have totally taken up the historic setting. Okay, the historic setting of IBC. Sir, in this lecture I didn't discuss anything with regard to law, and I don't want to even discuss. First 1 hour, this is a total journey. IBC is not just a chapter, it's a big journey of law. So I just want to first cover up the basic historic setting of how IBC has come. That means if this is India, presidency towns are governed by presidency towns insolvent. To make you understand why the name presidency towns is there, first I explain from the very 1600s. Okay, Mughalite, and after that British rule, how it started in India. 4 places they started, and these places have become the presidency towns. To explain all these things, I have taken a very good time. After that, this 1 hour session, hope you understand the idea behind the historic setting of insolvency code. Once after this completion, the next lecture, today itself it will be again given. This particular lecture will be concentrating on how the insolvency code 2016 has made up. Before that, what is the situation in India with regard to insolvency laws, I will be discussing in detail. Individuals, partnership firms, companies, banks and other entities. Okay, so that will be second lecture. From there law will start. Okay, so please carefully listen to all the lectures on IBC without fail. I am telling you, I am giving you a word, our sessions on IBC will be the best everywhere. I am giving you a word, it will be the best. Insolvency bankruptcy code, I told you from the very beginning that it's one of the most important area in our life in future. So please concentrate well. Okay.